flex?
Deebo Samuel.
I like Westbrook personally.
You shut your whore mouth.
Listen, Westbrook he's seen lately as a slop type player because that's where he has played. That certainly has been his role this year. Let's not forget his days at Oklahoma were big play after big play. So I do like D.D. Westbrook in this matchup, especially with what you were just talking about, Jay. Oakland can't stop anyone, and I think that includes Westbrook.
Hold on, but you're saying Atlanta's secondary has a better chance to stop Deebo.
Yeah.
You are out your mind. Just because your cousin is a Falcons fan doesn't mean you got to respect him.
No, I just think that Deebo is now back to being the number 2 option on that team, whereas D.D. is the number 1.
Which makes him more dangerous because Emmanuel's going to get the number 1 corner, and Deebo's just as good to be a number 1 wide receiver. He's going to get number 2 corner.
Well, we'll take a gentleman's bet on it.
Who do you trust more at quarterback then? Here's the next question then to decide. Who do you trust more at quarterback in their matchup to get the ball to his playmakers, Jimmy Garoppolo or Gardner Minshew?
Jimmy G.
For me, it's Minshew.
What is up? It's that facial hair. He's got a thing for it.
Oakland's defense is non-existent. I'm sorry. Yes, Atlanta is not much better, but we've seen surges where they shut down the Saints and they've shut down other teams. Oakland has not done that all season long.
You need Jesus today. You need church.
I do got the Raiders 26-27 in this one.
And personally, another thing that plays into it, guys, the Niners are at home. I don't think they're going to need Jimmy G. I think it's going to be a lot of running back play today. So, I mean, you could say the same thing for Jacksonville. Fournette's going to have a day for sure. But give me Minshew.
I'm praying for you, Dillon.
So if I've got Fournette, then do I play Westbrook or because I have Kittle? So I'm either going to double dip in this matchup, or I'm going to double dip in the
San
49 or Atlanta matchup.
Kittle's going to destroy that secondary.
Well, no, Kittle's my only tight end. I'm not asking about Kittle. I'm saying I have Kittle and I have Fournette. So my flex play is either going to be D.D. Westbrook, which would double dip me in the Jags, or do I double dip with Samuel in the Atlanta matchup is what I'm saying, because I have both those guys in both those matchups as starters. So then the next play is that's the next thing for people like me that which is the better game to be counting on 2 playmakers in a playoff matchup.
Yeah, Dave's going Deebo and I'm going Dede. So we're gonna see who's worth their worth.
That does not help me at all because
Deebo, it's about to be Friday all over again. He's gonna Deebo that damn bike.
I will say this in my lineup right now is Deebo Samuel. And he's projected to play better, but I had to ask because Westbrook is appealing because he is basically the only option there outside of the run game to throw the ball to.
Just saying he's top 15 in drops this year too.
So guys, with 2 defenses that have been giving up plenty of yards and plenty of points, the Raiders team at home, I guess I will take the home team, but I will not take them to cover. I think they only win by about a field goal.
Disrespect on L. Davis's grave. Raiders are going to win. They're going to cover. L. Davis, this one's for you, baby.
We all said they're going to win. They don't need to cover. They don't care if they cover.
Oh,
they just want
they're going to cover for Al. This is the last game at Oakland Coliseum.
And they say that I'm crazy.
All right, guys.
You just made a weather prediction against Shady McCoy on why it might be brighter that he won't perform well. That is completely different.
That's a deep nugget, man. That's good insight.
No, that's not a nugget.
That
that's
is awesome
that's
insight. No, it's not fool's gold. It could be a thing. Get out of here. He might get blinded and drop the ball because he carries it like a freaking loaf of bread.
Yeah. Not be able you ever seen the sun through the fog? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and let's say this.
That's brilliant because no one can see him.
But when the sun's shining bright, what happens? He ends up disappearing. You know why? Because he gets overshadowed by the sun. So
give me Shady in the snow like an angel
guess
falling
what's
to the
gonna
ground.
happen? I see this happening now that you got me back on this. You think I'm crazy because you brought it up. Here's the deal. He's going to be running down the field, and all the fantasy owners are going to be like, yes, this is the big run I need. He's going to score a touchdown. And the sun is going to be glaring off the snow in this game, right? And he's not going to see shut up. He's not going to see while he's carrying that ball because he carries it like a loaf of bread when he doesn't think anybody's around. He's not going to see because the sun's going to blind spot him. There's going to be a hustling defender come up out of the blind spot, poke that ball, grab it, pick it up, turn it around, and it's going to be a fumble recovery that turns the game for a touchdown because he got blinded by the snow shine off of the sun and didn't see the defender carrying it like loaf bread, and it's going to
Off of that, news update, the Texans and the Panthers are very interested in Nick Caserio or Cesario, however you pronounce it. He is one of the executives for the Patriots, and the Texans were trying to poach him last year, and they did not end up getting him. So, but the Texans do need a GM. They have 4 people running that spot right now.
I thought they weren't going to do that.
No, it says they're interested now. That's from CBS Sports. It just came out, and the Panthers are looking for him.
Do you know what the new G? Do you know why? Do you know why Bill O'Brien doesn't want a new GM to come in?
Oh, another Bill O'Brien rant. Let's do this.
Because Bill O'Brien doesn't want a new GM to come in because the new GM is going to come in. He's going to start and he's going to sit down with the scouting department, get all that information. Then he's going to sit down with all the coaching staff and then all the players. And at the end of all that, do you know what he's going to come to the conclusion of? That Bill O'Brien is meh because he's got a good enough coaching staff that has prepared the players, in their individual things, that he's got enough talent there, and that for some reason or another, Bill O'Brien's leadership is screwing the whole thing up. And so that's why Bill O'Brien doesn't want a new GM, because any new GM is going to take about 2 or 3 weeks to figure out that they need to get rid of him and get in somebody that's going to actually utilize this talent and get them wins. This team is just doing what it always does every year. Up and down, up and down. You don't know week in or week out. For God's sakes, prime time, Deion Sanders said he is sick of the Texans and Bill O'Brien because they're always playing with his emotions, and he doesn't like his emotions being played with.
I don't care what primetime
so
has to say anymore.
So Jay is the only one that doesn't like Bill O'Brien and the Texans and what they put in on tape week in and week out.
He also said Rodgers is on the decline too, so the guy you're ripping is something that he says that you hate about. He's one of those guys that says Rodgers might be on the decline. Primetime, he said it multiple times this season. Guess what?
Might.
No. He is one of the guys that has rode that train this year. So the guy you just repped. So guess what? Bad angle. Hey.
No, it's not. It's a great angle because that's a great take.
All right, guys. Let's move into a battle across conference matchup when the Cleveland Browns travel to Arizona. A battle of 2 first-year head coaches in Cliff Kingsbury and Freddie Kitchens. This is a pretty important matchup for fantasy owners.
Screw it up worse. That's what this game should be called.
Listen, a lot of people are trying to figure out how many Browns can I shoehorn into my lineup today with the Arizona defense, the way they're playing, and now losing Terrell Suggs. Arizona is the worst team against the quarterback. They are the worst team against the tight end, and they are the 7th worst team against the wide receiver, which makes me wonder, how confident are you guys in OBJ today?
Got to play him, just like I said before.
Yeah. By the way, they just released Terrell Suggs, folks, so they don't have a pass rusher across from Chandler Jones. So Chandler Jones is a one-man show again.
Now, after a
Terrell
dud
Suggs
week,
is still a pass rusher I'd want on my team, especially with a depth.
No, but the Cardinals don't need him because they're not going anywhere.
Njoku had a dud week in his first week back against Cincinnati last week. Is Njoku someone that you guys would be trying to plug into your lineup today against the worst-ranked Arizona? Let's say I gave you Njoku versus Arizona or Jack Doyle tomorrow night versus the Saints.
Neither. I'd leave that slot empty because you're not going to get either production out of any of them, and it'd be less frustrating than playing them and watching them do nothing.
I don't trust Jack Doyle, especially with Brissett's knee.
Nick Chubb is a must-start. Kareem Hunt is someone that is flexible. I mean, if you have no one else to stick in your lineup, Kareem Hunt has been at least a running back 2 for several weeks now with the receiving production. Jarvis Landry, I think, is going to have a spectacular game. No qualms with Jarvis Landry. And Baker Mayfield is also streamable. Would you rather stream Baker Mayfield or Ryan Fitzpatrick at the Giants?
Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Arizona's defense is just that bad.
On Arizona's side of the ball, Kyler Murray has been on kind of a downward spiral, hasn't been going his way. Same with David Johnson. I mean, he's starting to get more work than he has in the past couple of weeks, but it's basically a split between him, Kenyon Drake, and even Chase Edmonds, who's still getting carries. Christian Kirk, I believe, is a wide receiver 2 this week. I don't trust Larry Fitzgerald. So that's it, basically, for my assessment of the Cardinals' offense.
I'm taking the Browns. I don't see Arizona even covering.
Yeah, the Browns on the road, still favored by 3.
Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland.
Browns 17-14.
All right, guys.
Score right there.
Here's another game that I'm particularly interested in. 2 quarterbacks that always tug on my heartstrings. You've got Phillip Rivers at home against Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
You mean one quarterback that pulls on your heartstrings and it's Phillip Rivers?
Oh, boy. So, listen, there's something to be said about this being a 4 o'clock matchup and being on the road. Both those things do not work in Kirk's favor. So this is a game, even though the Chargers are home underdogs by a point and over-under of 45.5, I'm certainly taking the Chargers. I think that Rivers can pass on this very deflated Vikings pass defense. Keenan Allen has been solid, not spectacular. Mike Williams, makes big plays.
Curse for the Vikings secondary is out, and Xavier Rhodes is a game-time decision today. So you have all weapons at hand for the Chargers.
Yeah, there's no one I feel bad about on the Chargers side of the ball. However, on the Vikings side of the ball, I believe Dillon is making his return, yes?
He is, but you got to realize, though, the Chargers had a huge boost a couple weeks ago when they had both safeties come back in Phillips and James, and it's been a literally game-changing return because 2 straight weeks their defense has played pretty damn good.
Alexander Madison is going to miss this game, which likely means Dalvin Cook is going to get a heavy workload, maybe on, what's his name, Ham?
Yeah, C.J. Ham is a fullback, but this is something to keep an eye on. Cook is still nursing that injury he had in the Seattle game, which was 2 weeks ago. It's in his upper rib armpit area, and that's where you get hit a lot. You get tackled. You get the ball put in there from the quarterback. So don't be surprised if that flares up, and they might be in trouble today at running back because Madison's out.
The past 2 games, he has upgraded from single-digit carries to double-digit carries, so at least they're confident in the progression. But, yeah,
slowly
you're absolutely right.
There's still a chance that it still might be there because it's only 2 weeks ago.
So who do you guys like in this game? Sounds like we're Chargers all around?
I'm pulling the Chargers because of the fact that I think the Vikings secondary is just not there anymore. It's not what it used to be. Xavier Rhodes, even if he plays, he's playing hurt. He's not playing well this season. Mike Williams is big play all over the freaking field this year. He doesn't have touchdowns, but, God, if it's a 60-yard bomb in triple coverage, give it to Mike Williams. And
you got our producer just housing chips right now, clearly on their microphone.
All I hear, I'm used to it. I'm used to the crinkling. It's like noise I have to funnel out, like white noise. It's like
just unbelievable, the level of professionalism that's missing over there.
Good Lord. Like,
I got to eat.
Just getting
and now he's got to wipe his hands off before he can even touch the mic again. It's just going to be a mess over there.
Okay, what are you drinking? Sweet tea?
No, it's actually pomegranate cranberry juice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Well, I guess we can move on.
No, we can't because I didn't give my pick. I was eating chips, waiting on you guys to get done because I'm freaking starving here. I got a high metabolism.
28-20. I think Chargers win. I think Kirk throws 2 interceptions today.
What's the Chargers record?
Chargers are sitting at, I believe they're 4-8,
I think, or 4.
So they're not 500 or above.
5-8.
No, but
okay. So Vikings win this one 20-14 because that's what they do.
Nice. All right, we've got a matchup. The Atlanta Falcons traveling all the way to San Francisco to take on these 49ers. 49ers are pretty banged up on the defensive side of the ball, but it's not as bad as you might think it would be. Richard Sherman